At the Cranbrook Institute of Science, they're opening the doors for a peek inside the tomb of the most recognized Egyptian, King Tut.
Yes.
Look at
Indeed.
It's incredible artifacts right here. A replica of some of the most incredible treasures inside of King Tut's tomb. And joining us is Cameron Wood, the curator of the collection at Cranbrook Institute of Science. Easy for me to say, but you have a very fun job.
I do indeed. Yes, I do.
So tell us about these items that you've brought in to share with us. And I know the chair is a replica, right? So let's talk about that first.
Yep, the chair is indeed a replica. It was actually commissioned by George and Ellen Booth, the founders of Cranbrook. They visited King Tut's tomb like everybody wanted to do back then, and they had these commissioned. They were actually in their mansion for quite a period of time before coming to the Institute. So this is a recreation of the throne of Sitamon, who was, loosely speaking, an aunt of Tutankhamun.
Okay, wow. That's pretty incredible. That's pretty incredible. We were talking earlier off camera. We were like, how much would an original be? And you said absolutely priceless.
Absolutely priceless. Yep. It wouldn't even be on the block.
It wouldn't even leave the pyramids of Giza, right? All right. So, and what do we have here? Because this looks like a beautiful gourd of some sort, but it's not.
You would think, I'll have to pick it up real delicately, this is probably 2,000 to 3,000 years old. This is actually a mummified ibis. Back in the day, you could visit the temples of the various deities, and after paying a suitable fee, you could purchase a mummified bird or other animal to that particular god, which would then be placed in the temple.
Okay, you know what I don't think is coming across on camera is the detailing. If you can just keep holding that up, we can get a super tight macro zoom on that. You can see the fine detail. I mean, I can imagine them wrapping this very tightly and very precisely.
They would indeed, although to be honest, there were cases where they would actually simply wrap up random assortments of bones or other things like that, kind of hoodwink the visitor a little bit. But this one has actually been both MRI'd and X-rayed, and there's indeed an ibis in there complete with an egg it was getting ready to lay.
It's crazy. And if you, I mean, just to see, like you said, the detail, but how excellent the workmanship must be that it lasted for 2,000 to 3,000 years. It's out of control. And it's kind of like stylized too, right, Jason?
I know, there's some ornate decor there. It's not just, hey, let's wrap it up in gauze and call it.
Right, yeah.
That's awesome.
Very neat patterning to it.
Very, very. And then?
This is
Would you mind talking to the hand?
Talk to the hand, please. Yes, this is indeed a mummified hand. It is encased in a nice little showcase. This was purchased by a traveler actually in Europe back in the late 19th century. That was, again, it was a time where the world was really opening up to everyone, and everybody in the Western world was just gobsmacked with Egyptian culture, and people would buy parts of mummies. So this is indeed a part of an Egyptian mummified hand. If you can push in really tight, and perhaps you can't, you can actually see the bandage wrappings.
Yes, you can
and
see
on the reverse side, you can see the mummy had a little ring there.
Is that what the blue discoloration is?
Yep,
Yeah, I thought I saw something. Okay, wow.
So we have video overall to kind of give it, you know, we've got the prime examples right here, but let's roll the video and show everybody at home. I mean, look at that right there.
Right.
Wow.
Now there you're seeing, this is kind of a pan around our main exhibition gallery, and all of this stuff was produced on location in Egypt near the same workshops the originals would have been done thousands of years ago. And it was put together by the International Museum Institute of New York as a professional design house. And it is going to be on display at Cranbrook until early September. So there is this, but we've also augmented it with a number of authentic artifacts from our collections, which haven't been on display for decades. And then the Detroit Institute of Arts was kind enough to loan us a small assortment of actual Egyptian artifacts as well.
That's kind of amazing. That's all I can say. It's breathtaking.
How much time a day do you spend around these artifacts?
You know, my office is, I always tell people, you know, at the end of Indiana Jones when they have the big warehouse there, that's my office. I have a desk at the back of a room not unlike that, surrounded by all of this sort of thing.
Amazing.
Do you ever get the heebie-jeebies from being around this stuff?
You know, not really, although late at night, especially old museums do tend to have their little creaks and so on, but you get used to it.
You get used to it. There you go. So tell people how they can find out about this experience and how they can get down to Cranbrook to check all of this out.
Well, actually, I would encourage people to come tonight if they can. It's members night opening, but you can purchase a membership right at the door, so it'll be the official unveiling of the exhibit. We're actually having a great keynote speaker, William Peck, who is a professional Egyptologist.
Wow.
He resides here in the Detroit area. He spent 30 years as a field archaeologist in Egypt, and he's going to be doing a talk tonight on the whole discovery of Tut's tomb. After that, the exhibit will be on display during our normal opening hours until September 3rd.
Very exciting, very exciting. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm kind of blown away.
I know, you're just 3,000 years old here. Chuck,